Hey, I'm Jake Shapiro. I'm in third year on the Griffin men's basketball team, and my SAMX presentation is on productivity in the varsity athlete, making the most of the time you have. So the first thing we're going to do in my presentation is look at my schedule. So this is what I do with my schedule is I get my class schedule from WebAdvisor and I print it out. And then on that printout, I write in all my other commitments. So it really gives you an idea of when you have time to study and when just make sure that you won't miss any of your commitments. So that's always good to keep you organized. And looking at my schedule, it allows me to see how much time I have from Monday to Friday to actually do schoolwork. And with my sleep schedule and my class schedule and basketball schedule, it ends up being only 27 hours of free time in the week, which only allows me 7 hours a week per class. But obviously it's impossible to spend all my free time working. So we're going to talk about some of the other commitments of a varsity athlete, that being making nutritious meals, which is obviously very important, keeps you healthy and improves your recovery, getting therapy, again, helping your recovery, spending time with friends, aiding in your mental health is very important for a varsity athlete, and then keeping in touch with your family, another mental health aspect that's very important to every varsity athlete. I also put getting to practice and staying after. And this is obviously important if you need to get taped, that kind of stuff. I have both my ankles taped every practice, so it's quite a bit of extra time every week. And then film, 1 hour a week. And obviously these are just estimates of times, but it can vary, obviously. So when we put that all together, I have 27 extra hours in my schedule, minus the 15 hours for the other commitments. That only leaves me 12 hours a week of free time, which is way less than the original 27 hours. So that only leaves me 3 hours a week for each of my 4 classes. So let's look back to my schedule and see where those 3 hours fit in. So I think a good place to look is my Monday on my schedule. There's 3 about hour blocks, and those are 3 hours that I could use to study for one of my full classes for the week. And it's just so important to use those small blocks of times productively in your schedule, because those are really the important times, because if you waste those times, then you're wasting your time in general and you just will have less time for everything in your varsity schedule. So let's talk about some strategies for using those small blocks of times very productively. So the first one is study space. I find that it's great, since we have those small hours, blocks of time, to go close to your next commitment and find a good place to study and just kind of bunker down. So like some of my favorites would be like if I have a class in Rosansky and then I have practice later, I'll go from Roz to the athletic center and study in the fireplace lounge, or, shameless plug, the new SAM hours in the athletic center in 3213. Another strategy that will save you lots of time is meal prepping for the whole week on the weekend. This obviously means you can make a bunch of meals, high quantities and healthy meals for the whole week, save you lots of time during your week. You won't have to go home as much. And minimizing wasting time while on campus. So again, when you're on campus, you might as well be productive, because it's hard to go home with a varsity schedule. And use your SAM hours wisely. I see a lot of people wasting time in SAM, which kind of just is too bad, because if you're going to be in the library, you obviously might as well be doing work, because you obviously wouldn't choose to hang out with your friends in the library. So, and then start your assignments early. You can always be doing something. If you look at your course outline, you'll pretty much always be able to be doing something in advance, some sort of reading, some sort of assignment. And then another great strategy that some of my colleagues have mentioned is the Stickies app, making to-do lists. So every time you open up your laptop, your to-do list is just right there, and it'll just help you to stay on top of things. So finally, let's just talk about the positives of being productive. It leaves you more time to have a social life, which obviously is great for your mental health, and allows you to better take care of your body. If you have more time, if you're more productive, you'll obviously have more time, which you can use to book more therapy with Judy and Gunnar, that kind of stuff. You'll be less stressed, and you'll reduce multitasking. Those kind of go hand in hand. You won't have to be working on multiple things at once if you're doing things early. And improved marks. So I'll just tell you a little bit about my transition from first to second year. My average increased 10%, and really the only difference I made is being productive in these small blocks of time. So thank you, and that's my presentation.